Hey, welcome back to the Buck Junkie podcast. Got my fellow Buck Junkies here, Mr. Mark, Mr. Mikey, Mr. Jamie, and I'm Malcolm. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing today?
What's happening?
Don't know it.
Cool
Man.
Monday morning.
I thought we had some warm weather. Last weekend was awesome. Now the deadgum rain and cold's come back on us. It's not. It don't feel like spring today.
Spring break's coming up. It always sucks at spring break.
I know.
Raining.
It's either
Nasty.
raining or cold or all three.
I'm not gonna lie, Mikey. I wish we'd have had some real cold weather over the weekend, so we didn't walk into a thawed out deep freeze this morning.
Yeah,
That was a good rude awakening for a Monday.
Come in on Monday morning, find out your deep freezer door has been blowed open. How much meat did we lose?
A couple 100 pounds.
Dang.
A lot. It was what?
Shrimp and
Three
scallops.
Darn them shrimp. Whoop.
The shrimp and scallops should have been gone a long time ago. They were rough.
Man, those were fresh back from the coast a year ago.
Yeah, a year.
They was real
He ain't
fresh
supposed
this
to leave them in
morning.
there that long. All I know is when I pulled in, I saw the bay door open on the warehouse and Mikey out there with the deep freeze and water hose in it. And I said, "Ooh,
Yeah, it was bad.
something ain't good."
Mikey held it together until the old shrimp bag dripped a little juice on his arm, and it was OV. Then he was
Yeah.
done.
I reached down. They were in the bottom shelf, so I reached down to get
You
them.
ain't going for that.
No, I got it right in the face.
It's bad.
I'm glad I was about 10 minutes late this morning.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
think,
day.
I think he rode by
Yeah.
and
He
seen me and
saw
Mark gagging, running out the door.
he got here early,
He
went
made the
in,
block.
smelt it, turned back around. I go back to the gas station, get a biscuit.
I think Tyler done the same thing. He told me he was supposed to be here early this morning too, and he shows up right when we put the mop up.
The bad thing was me and Shell did get here early. Like she went, I didn't go in. We were going down to the gym trying to get my workout on. She went in, put the dog in, and I'm surprised as keen a nose as she has that she didn't say
Oh,
something.
she knew. She was just waiting.
She didn't say nothing to me about it. Yeah.
You didn't get it till you opened the shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know when I come back, y'all had that door. Mark opened the door. There was a
It
mop
was been
bucket.
open.
And he opened that door. And I started to go out there and I said, nope. What's all that run out on the floor?
Yeah.
Good old
Buzzers
Mickey
on the
is
roof up there, looking down,
on it.
waiting.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely not how you want to start your week off, and especially that was a lot of meat. And some of the stuff we do needed to clear out, but that's probably most hunters can relate. I'm sure everybody's lost a deep freeze, and it all smells the same.
Yep. That's right.
Man.
Tough.
So what's the what'd you do? What's the if that happens to you, Mikey? What's the procedure here?
What's the procedure?
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, if it was mine, I'd have put a ratchet strap around that door, and we'd threw everything away, freeze
went
it
to the
all.
dump.
Set it at the road, let the city deal with it.
They're not open.
Yeah.
So no, y'all. I guess you pulled it all out, pulled everything out, threw it away.
Well, thank God it wasn't nothing rotten. Like it was smelling, but it
Pretty
wasn't.
close.
It wasn't like
It probably only been a little over 24 hours.
Yeah.
So the door had to be blowed wide open.
it was.
Them old packs of ribs, they would blew up like a balloon. Like they wasn't vacuum sealed no more. They were puffy.
I hope it didn't ruin that freezer.
No, it'd be all right. We'll wash it out. Good to go.
Oh, Mikey's already done that.
Yeah, I already bleached it and washed it out.
Is that the procedure though? You get out there, put the bleach to it, wash it out, let it dry.
Yep.
You plugged it back up yet?
Not yet. No.
Biggest thing we got to worry about now is I don't think that concrete out there is sealed. So
No, about every time it's damp. for
Yeah,
the
you'll
rest of
smell
the
it.
summer,
I
you'll
mean,
smell it.
if it does say it happens at your hunting camp and the concrete ain't sealed, you definitely need to get something, muriatic acid, Clorox, something, let it soak on that concrete for a few days.
Or it's going to get in there.
Mm-hmm. It will.
I think the deep freezer's in my office. It's pretty loud.
I was immune to it. It was good. After about 20 minutes smelling it, you don't smell it no more. But we'll adapt, overcome. We'll just restock it with some more.
That's right. That's all you can do.
I did order us a deep freezer lock to put on it, though,
That's a good thing.
so it will not happen again. At least not for that reason.
So last week, let's see, today, what are we picking up with today, Mikey?
And we're gonna go back into turkey hunting.
We didn't answer all the questions. Last week we did. We got into kind of turkey hunting for beginners, but
Yeah, turkey hunting 101.
we got some more good topics here that
We're
we never.
102 today.
Yeah,
Well, we got a youth hunt coming up.
that's
so
right.
that was-
That's really where these questions are geared toward. After I looked over them, is youth weekend here in Mississippi. I guess it's the whole state or just our northern part. I know starts
I think it's
tomorrow. Tomorrow is actually opening youth. They open it on Tuesday, which is weird.
I could definitely see, like, might be getting ahead of ourselves right now, but to me, taking a kid, turkey hunting's got to be the hardest animal for a kid to hunt.
Yeah.
Because you know they ain't going to sit
No
still.
doubt.
I mean,
We get some blind action going on there.
definitely.
No
So
doubt.
before we get into talking turkey, let's talk about what was going on. Did anybody get on the books this weekend? Y'all hunt or fish or do anything?
Man,
We did. Me and Mark got on the
shoot, we batting 1,000 when it comes to sheds and heads and what else we found this weekend?
Man, we found a bunch of stuff this weekend. We found the graveyard on the new
Yeah.
property.
The graveyard.
What they call it on Lions King, where the land of no return or whatever.
That's where you go to die.
Yeah, we found it.
I was told we was working. I don't know.
Yeah, you was on the tractor.
I was on the tractor.
We're going to get to that on the improvement side of things here in a few minutes. But I took Rochelle and Michael down, and we looked around for some stuff. We had a few hours to kill on Saturday. Only thing we found was a couple turtle shells.
No, I got up that
Smack
morning
those.
and we went down and got the duck blinds out of the field, got them put up for the year, so we ain't got to worry about that. Moved them out of the rice field, and biggest thing was I wanted to get them off the turn row. I definitely don't want to give an 8x combine or big boom or nothing like that, wipe it out. But that's when I met y'all down there in Senatobia, and we had time to kill, and walk around. I didn't know Jamie was down there on the tractor. I had no idea.
I didn't either. I didn't see your truck anywhere.
We walked around. We walked around on the old ground, and then that's when we found Jamie went over to new ground after Mike and him got down there. And
I was over there in the land of no return.
You was circling it, huh?
But no, we went to that pine thicket. We've always never really took time to walk that pine thicket. And I've always been wanting to. And discovered more's in there than I thought was in there. I didn't realize there was that many gullies and ridges, and man, it was just right now with no undergrowth in it. It's just pine needles on the ground. It's wide open, and you can see a shed for pretty good ways. The ones I seen before I got up there. Of course, I had Gus with me trying to see if he had a nose on him, and he found one or two, but I ain't gonna say he's no shed dog just yet.
Yeah.
He just sheds.
Yeah, he
Board
sheds.
too, though.
Do what?
You're on the board too. You found the skinny 7.
Yeah,
laying in the field.
yeah, we did. Well, that was when we rode down the other day. We saw it. I was like, "What is that?"
I let
That's
Mark
right.
hunt all day over trying to find.
Yeah,
that
I
deer.
was
So
looking
told
for
him
that.
I
you
didn't
found.
realize that was the deer we wanted to find because it didn't look like.
No.
He
It's
don't look
amazing
near as
how much they
good.
changed. Those game camera pics will fool you.
I've watched that deer in person. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
he
I've seen it in
looked.
person too.
That was I picked him up and looked at it, and I was like, man, that don't look quite big enough. And I got to look, and I was like, that's it. All the characteristics of that rack was perfect. And me and Mikey started laying pictures out, looking at him. I was like, that's him.
I went back and looked at it. It's him, definitely.
But that's a good thing there. That's something we wanted to find, and I think that's pretty neat to
I have pictures of that deer from Velvet all the way through the season, and now we got both his drops.
see him next year.
That's
Hopefully.
that can be a topic on one of the other shows or something like that. But like kind of trying to judge a deer with a camera. Looking at that deer on the camera, he looked a lot bigger than that. And then when we found those sheds, like
He's a young deer,
he's
very
not
young.
that big at
Yeah.
all.
No, I'd be surprised. That deer might be just a year and a half old. He's not very old
No.
at all.
And I think too is he had to been a smaller frame body
Yeah,
than what we're used to seeing. That's one reason he may have looked like a better deer than he was. Is I just don't think he didn't have no body weight.
I saw him out there with a spike, and he was bigger than the spike, but he was still, you could tell he was a young deer. I didn't let Michael shoot him last year. We saw him a couple times. I'm just glad nobody else killed him.
Yeah.
But there was one evidently somebody did kill that you found.
That broke my heart
Yeah.
there. That's the bad thing about shed hunting is a lot of times you might find something you don't want to find. I went over and met Jamie, talked to him for a minute. I said, well, heck, I'm going to walk down this trail. I said, I know it's a good deer trail at the end of this little path. I said, I'm going to get on it and walk it to the plantation field. So me and Gus, we was walking, and I had just picked up a little bitty 4-point shed. Teeny tiny. And I was looking at it, and I seen Gus. He kind of pepped up, and kind of got out in front of me a little ways. And I looked, and he went straight to it, and sure enough, it was skull. And it was a good 9-point. Beautiful rack. I think it's from this year. He was chewed up a little bit. Of course, he wasn't laying there with any other bones, so I know a coyote or something done drug him around,
Yeah.
But, was in great shape, but it was a good deer. He probably 16, 17 inch wide, and, beautiful tall tines. It was one I did not want to find. I'd like to find the shed of him. I didn't want to find his head, though.
That's right.
What was impressive about him though is like his G3s were like
Huge.
about 8 or 9 inches long. They were larger than the G2s on the deer.
Yeah. He had good genes. I hope he hopefully got him a couple of does
I'm sure. So.
knocked up somewhere down there so he can pass it on, maybe. But found that one. I found another 3 or 6 point little or 3-sided 6-point, I guess it'd be, and then found one spike and There was 1 foot. We found 2 more 4 points, I guess. And then the ones you found.
Yeah, me and Melissa found a dead 6 point and just a little bitty. I don't know what that was. It was something that we'd run over. I think it was like had 3 on one side. But then during the week, me and you, Malcolm, found the skinny 7, and then I came back Friday to get the heaters out of the stands and get them ready, and rode around and found a pretty decent 8 point where he'd been laying in his bed, dropped both horns right there, just right on the edge of the field.
We've got a nice collection going this year.
It's addictive.
Oh, it is. I'm ready. I'm going this weekend.
Are you going?
Rain or shine, cold, I'm going. So what do you think? I know we talked about this. Why are we finding more sheds now? Is it because, A, we're down there and we're actually looking and spending time on the property now more than we ever have?
That's the big thing.
Or are we holding them more than we ever have?
I mean, I think the deer were always working through there. I think we just never went and looked, because you got to think about it. Once deer season was over, nobody ever went. But we weren't planning. We weren't doing.
We didn't go back till after spring.
Rotation. Nobody really. I mean, the few people that turkey hunted down there, nobody ever said anything about finding any sheds. We didn't really look. But then we didn't have as much food plot either. And to me, it seems like a majority of those on the older property has been found near the food plot, like right on the edges or right in it.
It's something. I mean, I kind of lean both ways. I know we're down there more right now, but I mean, you'd think. This is the first year we found shed down there, ain't it? You hadn't found a shed down there, Jamie, until this year. If anybody's going to find a shed, it'll be Jamie. I mean,
like I say, last year I really didn't look.
Yeah,
but I kind of got the fever later on during last year about looking for sheds. I like it. It's kind of like I say,
it is fun.
It's neat.
Oh, me and Michael put some steps in. He laughed at me. I got tangled up in barbed wire fence. I told him, Michael, be careful crossing that fence. And it was a fence on our property. It was not crossing the fence.
You weren't going on a neighbor.
Yeah, but heck, I was trying to help Michael cross, and man, I got hung up bigger than crap. It tore my pants up. I fell. Michael's laughing at me. I'm trying to not drop the deer camera because we took it out of that plot. And I guess another thing, got cameras up. We still need to get them off the new property.
Yeah. That was the next topic there. What was going on the farm besides getting on board? And I'll let you take that. What was you doing? You were on a work
mad?
day. You was on a work day.
No, it's fine.
You got the roads looking good.
Yeah, I got a good bit knocked out on them down there Saturday. Hopefully, I got tired of looking behind me. So turned around watching a box blade the whole day. It kind of wear you out. But I like probably about another day down there, and I'll have them all situated.
So what we were doing when we got this property last year, that previous owner had already dissed up a lot of the trail system on it for some reason. I guess they planted the trail system, but he never did plant. But it was heavy dissed. So it was
like chisel plow.
Yeah, it was a rough ride, and it makes your trails hard to ride on. I mean, it really does. And so you were taking the box blade back in there and just kind of smoothing things out, I guess, right?
Yeah, and then kind of cutting the bank down in certain areas where water could get off and dry out a lot better than it was.
And then you crown the gravel road in a lot of places where water get off it.
The old property roads look good. They worked. You can tell where the water run off in the rain. I mean, it drained better than it ever has.
All that stuff you don't think about you need to do, and this is a good time of year to do it.
Oh, yeah, get down there.
See where the water's running for one. We've had so much rain this winter. And
the only thing that I seen we have to get on now is the old Trump food plot. It's washed 3 foot deep. I mean, it is a gully done run through it.
We got to cut some drainage on it.
It's always had a bunch of water come across that place right there.
Comes off all the hills right there, trying to get to those pipes.
So we also got us a new implement to play with.
Yeah, that was on my list to talk about. Mike, you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, so we bought a lane shark. So this is an implement that goes on the front of your tractor on the boom, on the front of the tractor, and it's designed to trim limbs up as high as your boom will go on your tractor. So it's like a small bush hog.
Like 5 foot, I think what it is, 4.5, 5 foot.
Yes,
it's not as near as big as I thought when y'all were describing it. I thought it was
48. Is it 48-inch deck or?
I think so. I think it's about 4 foot, something like that, somewhere right in there. And anyways, you hook this thing up, and you have to take it to somebody that sells it because you may have to have a whole nother your hose system run up through the boom and all that stuff, and they had to put another pump on it and all that. But anyways, we get to play with this thing for the next few weeks. But this thing's designed to kind of keep your overhang or your limbs that are encroaching on your fields or anything like that. You can take this thing, just kind of run down through there and swipe it, and bob those limbs off, or you can turn it over flat and run it on the front of the tractor like a bush hog. So you can take down trees. I mean, I hit some that was about the size of my leg, so 4 inches plus diameter, and it bump them about twice, and it'll take them on down.
That's going to come in handy keeping those
It is.
small sweet gums and things we want to keep cleaned up on the hillside where you can't just really get to it with a tractor.
I can tell you,
You
that
can reach it
pole
without-
saw. This is
Yeah.
a good replacement for that pole saw.
You'll be able to hang the pole saw up.
Yeah.
So
You got to think about it. If you was hanging, some deer sets and some places and some trees, and you need to knock some limbs down, you could definitely go down through there with that. If you, as long as
it'll
you get,
pivot too, won't it? Like you can lay it down flat.
Right.
No, yeah, you can lay it down flat. You can put it where the boom, both the arms on the front of the tractor, you can flip it where it's like sticking 4 foot out the side of the tractor, mowing on a flat, so you don't have to get up under the overhang of the trees if you wanted to cut, around the edge of the trees, just get some kind of shrubbery or whatever around the edge and not take the limbs. You could do that too with it. So it's got several different positions you can put that deck in.
It will make you pucker up too if it's on up there a little bit.
Yeah, if you got it extended all the way out, you need to make sure you're on level ground with the thing, or you got
Or some weighted tires.
weighted tires, because that thing it kicked it up on its side one time with me, so old butthole puckered up pretty good on that.
watch that, huh?
Yeah.
Watch that,
Yeah.
old dude.
John over at State Line Turf and Tractor said that was a machine. He said that was the way to keep it. That's what his dad uses to keep limbs off.
I can't believe he had never told us about it.
Well, I mean, he
We-
told me about one last year, but
Yeah.
they just kind of started
yeah.
messing with it.
Well,
I think
we
it's on
found them
farm.
one day. What we were looking for, a circular saw to
Yeah.
go on a boom or something to where we could go down there and rip the trails.
Yep.
And so I just got to Googling and looking, and I said, Mikey, look at this. And he's like, man, I don't know. 'Cause this sure looks like it would sling stuff all over the tractor, because it's cutting like a bush hog. It ain't mulching stuff.
No, it's
just
like-
knocking it.
It's
It's
slinging.
slinging.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was what I was worried about. It's like when you showed that to me, it's like, man, I don't know about that thing. It's gonna bust the windshield out of the tractor, and it's just gonna scratch it all to crap. Well, after talking to John, he was like, no, it's designed where it's not gonna sling it all over you. So and it didn't. I mean,
Yeah.
So it works. It does really well. I mean, I cleaned that cedar tree off behind Whaling Stand. I mean, that's what I did with it, because you could never see through it to see to that back gate. I just went on one side and just skinned that tree up one side and went around the other side and just cleaned that whole tree off.
If you want to see one of these, go see John at State Line Turf and Tractor if you're local over in Olive Branch.
I will say they're the only dealer that they'll tell you if they can tear it up.
Yeah, it holds up. That's
Yeah.
a dark
Yeah.
corner
That's what he
farm.
said, yeah.
It's made very well.
That's what he told y'all, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wes has been out there
Yeah.
trying to see if he can tear it up.
The only thing that we've broke, and I guess I can take claim that it's the tiller. They said they ain't never seen nobody tear a tiller up like I did. And I'm like, man, it just happens. We put in work. But so last week, turkey hunting 101, we covered a good bit. I mean, it was a lot to it. Everybody thinks you just go out there and sit in the woods, you kill a turkey, but it definitely ain't even remotely close to that.
Yeah.
Kind of went over some of the things we needed, some of the equipment we used, some of the guns we got. Daddy just got his 12 gauge dialed in. He bought that new Benelli. He got it patterned this week.
Is that what he was coming by for to tell you that?
Yeah. No, he got a smoking deal on that gun, but he went and bought what brand choke was it? He said he bought for that gun. You remember? He told us the other day.
Indian Creek, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Winchester number 5s. He said 60 yards is dead, done.
Yeah.
But this is the first 3.5 inch gun he ever had, so
Ooh, get ready.
Yeah.
Has he been
Man,
shooting
you
it?
ain't
Yeah.
He shot it the other day.
Man.
it ain't too bad in those guns. They handle it pretty well. It ain't like my old pump. That pump hurt you.
That's right. His is automatic.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
So
So say I had old pump 870 when they come out with those 3.9. Well, me and you both had one.
Yeah.
We both bought one Super Mag in Remington's.
stomp your butt.
Man, that
3.5's like a good idea till you shot it.
That's what I said too.
That's like
It
some
ain't
of these
worth
guys
It
still
ain't worth it.
No.
turkey hunt with a 10 gauge. I'm like, good Lord, man. You ain't shooting an elephant, just a little bird.
They are tough, but yeah. More people leaning towards the opposite direction now, like we talked last week with the 20 gauge and 410 and stuff like
Well,
that.
that was the first thing Mikey had on here to talk about today. If you got a kid, you're gonna take turkey hunting. What kind of gun you gonna buy?
Yeah,
or
well,
her.
there's a lot of things you got to take into consideration with the kid, and that's one of them. Is how big of a gun are you going to buy for that kid? And it's just like any other gun. You know, if you got a small kid, it almost ain't worth buying a gun. You know, just let them go and get. I
Yeah.
wouldn't, me personally. I would rather just take the kid, let them experience the turkey hunt and sit with me and stuff like that before I actually went out and bought. Because when you buy one of those, it's the first time, and that's one of the questions too. Is, you know, when they shoot that gun, you got to think that's a kid, and they're shooting a 3 or 3 and a, well, you wouldn't even want them shooting no 3.5 inch turkey load, but when they fire that 3 inch turkey load,
They're gonna know
it's gonna rock your world.
I got to looking up some stuff on it. And of course, like you said, I wouldn't go out and buy completely another gun right out the gate. You know, most likely they already got a shotgun, so you can kind of adapt. You know, get them a good choke. I did find some youth turkey loads that's like low recoil.
Cool.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool. And they changed the shot size. Like some of those shots was like kind of like our duck loads. Like it might be half of them number 5s, and they might have some number 7s in there or something.
Yeah.
You know, but there is ammo out there that I wouldn't just throw a regular Federal Premium 3-inch on them for sure. I would kind of let them get used to shooting the recoil, and heck, start them out with dove loads. You know, get them out there in the field and get them to shooting that target with dove loads, and then
And
slip
sneak
one of them.
that
Yeah,
3-inch
slip
in
one of them
there.
in there. You know.
Well, you know, it's going to be different when you're shooting at a live animal too.
Yeah.
'Cause
Mhm.
that takes a lot of the adrenaline rush and all that on it. You can, to me, it seems like you can absorb that kick a little bit better. But I think now I'm not, you know, new to turkey hunting, but you're going to have to call that bird in a lot closer with a kid, because they're not going to
Yeah.
step out there and shoot something they can shoot 50, 60 yards. They're going to need it. They're going to need a shot, something they're comfortable with, they can handle within a lot of times probably 20 yards.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a big challenge of taking a kid turkey hunting, getting them to sit still enough to get that bird in that close.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You know, when you're turkey hunting, you know, Papaw's shotgun with a 30-inch barrel on it, that's a hard gun to leave up on your knee when you're calling.
Oh yeah,
So you got to take that into consideration too when you got that kid. You know, they're small, so they're gonna have to hold that gun, you know, still while if you do get that turkey in, they're gonna have to set that thing up on their knee, be ready to go. They can't sit it in their lap and wait till the turkey gets up there and pick it up and try to shoot. You know, that's not gonna go. He's gonna be gone. But you know, making sure you got one that fits that kid well, and make sure that they're comfortable with it and that they're capable of shooting that gun.
so you're going to have to work with them prior to ever going hunting.
Anybody
I'm
I ever
shooting.
took turkey hunting, or anybody that's new, I made them sit down and shoot in a sitting position, just like they were going to shoot at the turkey. You don't get on the bench and shoot it. You sit down. You're going to back up against a tree. We're going to put the target out here. You're going to shoot it just like you would shoot it in a real situation. That's why you know
How they're going to handle
how you going to position your body, or
Yeah.
you know how you need to be setting. You know, it gets you used to shooting like that. So
Well, too, and unless you're just lucky, that turkey's not going to walk straight out in front of you.
Not
He's going to be
time,
all the
no.
way to your right or all the way to your left,
Or
you
right
know.
behind.
So that's something else to take into consideration for sure.
I mean, that really goes to everything from shooting a duck hunting, deer hunting. You know, it's all the same. You know, the kids got to get used to it. We kind of take it for granted. We've all been hunting over half our life, you know. And the kids, it's all new to them.
Well, I mean, it's just like, you know, we shoot deer rifles off the bench. Shooting out in box stands, yeah, that's a lot easier, but it still ain't as comfortable as that bench, you know.
That's true.
Brian figured that out, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I mean, that was one of the other questions when we kind of got into that. You know, do you let the kid shoot that turkey gun? Do you let them pattern that turkey gun, because you know what's coming?
100%.
I mean, it's gonna buck them pretty good, you know. And the one thing you don't want to do is put them down there and then they're scared of the gun because it hits them so hard. That's my thoughts, you know. And if they're not capable of shooting that turkey gun yet, or they're not used to taking that recoil. I mean, you got options there. You can do like Mark was talking about, just surprise them with it, and you know, do
Hope for the
you go
best.
pattern the gun yourself and then just surprise them with it, you know, when the time comes, or do you actually let them shoot it, and if it scares them, then just deal with that from there?
But you got an age where you think this is the age you ought to start them out, or is it by size, or what do you think on that?
I mean, it varies. I mean, my thing is, a lot of people start the kids out squirrel hunting, small game hunting, stuff like that, and so turkey hunting is one of the hardest things. Turkey hunting is the hardest thing to do to me, and you got to be still. You got to, you know, it ain't like deer hunting where you're sitting in a blind and you get to shoot, you know, the deer out there at 100 yards. This thing's in your face, you know. So if the kid can't really sit still,
That's key.
It's a challenge.
if they're not, don't force them to do it because you're going to have some bad hunts.
Yeah, you want them to have fun. That's the main thing.
You don't want to frustrate them with it. So make sure they're, I mean, you can still take them, though. You can still take the kids. I mean, I took Kayla when she was 4 years old. But,
you knew what you was getting into.
I knew what I was getting into, right. Yeah. So,
I think that's probably a big part of it, too. You got to think. I mean, you want those kids to go out and have a good time. So if you can take them out there, if you're lucky enough to call and then get a turkey to answer, you may not kill that bird.
Enough. Yeah.
You may not kill that bird, but you got them to hear a turkey and you got them to tromp around in the woods and to go sit down. And I mean, the goal ain't to always kill an animal when you're in a situation like that, especially when you're trying to get some kids into it. Believe me, I know my son. He likes putting on the camo. He likes getting all the gear. He likes going out and doing all that. That's just fun to him. I mean, of course, now if you do that a few times with them, they start thinking, why ain't we killed nothing?
Yeah.
And they want to kill one.
They look at the watch and what time it's supposed to come out.
Well, you didn't show me all the gearing up and all that stuff. Now, now we need the birds. Yeah, but that's a big part of it. You don't want to ruin them. You don't want to put a gun on their shoulder. It's going to hurt them. They're going to be scared of. That might scar them for a lot. That they'll never want to shoot a rifle, never want to shoot another shotgun, and you want them to have a good time. So you don't want to get mad if they move around and bust a bird out or something like that.
Oh, because they're going to. It ain't no if. They're going to. Well, I done it.
That's a big consideration.
Yep, it is. I mean, there's a lot of complications with taking a kid hunting. There's them moving around or getting bored and not wanting to sit still. And that's happened to me before. I took. I remember one time I took Brandon Scott turkey hunting. Me and him went, and he was probably, I don't know, he's probably 11 years old or something. And I'd taken him before. Bad day. We didn't hear nothing. So, we left about 8 o'clock and went and got a biscuit and went on to the house. And, well, this certain morning, we sat down on the fence, and I owl hoot, turkey gobbles. He ain't far. I mean, he's not even 150 yards down the trail there. And I'm like, oh, we got one here. So I yelped. He answered me back as soon as I yelped. And I was like, oh, we got him. That's what I'm thinking anyways. Yeah. So I sit down with Brandon. I get him positioned right in front of me, and I was like, all right, Brandon, there's no telling where he's going to come. I hope he walks right up his trail, but there's no guarantee. And we're sitting there, and I'm calling this turkey and this gobbling, and he's getting closer. He's moving slow, but he's getting closer. And I'm like, man, he's coming. He's coming, Brandon. I can feel him, he's getting excited. And then the turkey got quiet, didn't say nothing else for a little bit. And Brandon's turned around, looked at me. He's like, Mikey, when we going to go get a biscuit? He was done with the turkey. Quit gobbling. Let's go. I was like, boy, be quiet and turn around.
Y'all never see the
No, by that time, he done got fidget and got to move. I'm sure the turkey came up there. I didn't see him, but he probably seen us and went on the other way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just some complications to deal with kids.
Part of it. Yeah, but he had a fun time. He did. The turkey started coming towards him.
Yeah, he got biscuits.
He got biscuits.
Yeah.
So going back to where you're talking about patterning a gun, now we are going to let a kid shoot, and we're going to spend some time with them sitting down. What's the process on that? How far are you going to put a turkey? I assume you're going to put up some kind of turkey target where you can see the head silhouette or whatever you want. You just want to see how those pellets hit the bullseye or hit the paper.
Yeah, I don't even know if we talked about this last week or not, but like different shells fly different, so you automatically got a pattern that gun. It's like any other gun, so your pattern may be low, it may be high, it may be, it could be anywhere. I've had them shoot to the left a little bit, just depending on which shell I had, but you're gonna have to figure that gun out. So I mean, if you don't do it and you're gonna let the kid do it, yeah, I mean you're gonna set them down in a sitting position and put it out there about 20 yards, let them shoot about 20 yards, and I guess just see what happens. If they go to crying, it's probably wasn't the best thing to do. But
I think if you're worried about, the kid being, gun shy, the recoil or whatever, get out there when they ain't around. You shoot it, make sure the gun patterns the way you want it to, and then start them out on a light load. Let them shoot that light load, and as long as they get comfortable with that.
Get them in the habit.
Yeah, get them in the habit.
Looking for where to shoot. Because, you want them to shoot the turkey in the head.
And if they handle it good, stop there. Don't get them afraid before you ever go hunting, Yeah,
because that's going to be stuck in their head. It always was with me. I shot a shotgun one time that was, I mean, it rocked me, you know, and I was a kid and I never wanted to touch that gun again.
I've had one like that
I
too.
was like, man, I ain't messing with that thing no more.
Old school double barrel. When they told me, you want to shoot one? I begged and begged my dad, let me shoot a gun. He's like, all right, get that one out there and get you a couple of them shells over there and go out there and shoot it. I
You
wish
brought
I
it right
had.
back
Yeah,
in.
I did.
Oh, that's what
I was like,
Daddy done to
dude,
me.
I don't ever want to shoot that one again. I ain't shot it again to this day.
I was-
Where that gun is.
That was 2 years ago, too.
Yeah,
wasn't
that's 2 years ago.
Which I was a teenager. I was probably 13, 14. I bought my first shotgun, and it was a 12 gauge, 3.5-inch gun, you know. And I was gonna go turkey hunt with Daddy, and I bought a choke, got everything, and the gun was a hoss. I mean, it was one of the best patterning shotguns I ever owned. And I got out there with 3.5, and I shot it. And Daddy was out there with me, and I told him, I said, I can't shoot it no more. I said, that's all I want.
it.
Like, he's like, oh, it can't be that bad. And I said, Daddy, I said, I'm done. Like, I know it's good. If I miss, it's my fault. He got it. He said, loaded him up, and he backed up against that tree, like Mikey said. And of course, he was backed all the way up against the tree, so you don't have your body's not absorbing it.
Yeah.
You're against the tree. He shot it, and he done everything but cuss me, handed it right back to me.
It's that old Widowmaker.
Yeah, he said,
You don't want to shoot that one.
he said, don't you ever give me that gun again. I said, all right.
Man, them first 3.5s came out were tough. They were real tough. I
So-
mean, I've seen grown men set them down like Mark was talking about, like, never shoot it again. I'm done.
So when you explain it to a kid when they're patterning their gun, what are you telling them that you want to see? Are you expecting them to be able to do?
The main thing is get them a good enough target where they sell targets that got turkey heads on them, you know. So getting them used to shooting at that, you know, I never have just shot dead at the ball of his head where his beak is, you know, because I always shot like
Base.
about at the base where the neck meets the feathers at,
Right.
you know, right in there. That way, if my pattern or if I'm off a little bit, I've got a little bit of room for air.
You're gonna get in the
Yeah.
body. You're gonna get
Right.
in the head.
He's
you're
gonna get it in the chest,
Yeah.
and it's gonna kill him, or it's gonna
Right.
get in his head, you
Right.
know, because that turkey's moving, you know, and
And it's different shooting at a paper target than it is
yeah,
shooting
because
at a bird walking across the field in front of you in the woods.
that's right. When that thing comes out, I mean, it's just not standing there; it's moving.
Waiting on
and
you to shoot
that
him.
head's bobbing, you know, and you're trying to track that turkey, you know, and especially if you're in the field, you're moving with that bird, you know. If you let the bird get out in front of the gun or something like that, and then you got to move a lot, now you done messed up because that bird's gonna get you. He's gonna bust you.
I think too, like, I guess starting out, I guess I would recommend shooting something the kid can see and move. Like throw a empty Mountain Dew can out there, you know, get them to shoot that and then gradually work them on to actually pinpointing on a target. One thing that I always thought would be tricky, especially when it's explained to me, is, you know, any other time you're shooting a shotgun, you're not looking down the barrel. You're not supposed to be looking down the barrel. You're just looking at your target through the barrel. Well, this, you're going to have to put it and beat them on. You know, you're actually aiming now. Whereas dove hunting, duck hunting, you're pretty much just looking down the barrel at your target. It's a little bit different now, I guess. And heck, they got scopes and everything else and
Sights all this
and
different stuff. Yeah.
That's the other thing, you know, if you do buy a gun, and you know, you gotta make sure the sights are what the kid's comfortable with too. You know, you can't just throw a red dot scope on him if he's been used to shooting with a bead. You know,
Yeah.
you don't want to do that. You want to make it as easy as possible, because when that time comes, it's gonna be tough on them.
Didn't your Auto 5, did it come with the different sights for the barrel?
I don't think so.
Somebody's gun here lately I just seen, or what, it had where you could swap it out. Like you had the bead, like the True Glow bead, and then it had a spot where you could put like iron sights, like rifle sights on it for turkey hunting.
Yeah.
One of my shotguns was like that. I don't remember which one. One of the turkey guns I bought was like that. Came with you could remove the sights and use either or.
I think it was that Frenchie that I got at
The Affinity or whatever.
Turkey Banquet.
That's
The
it.
gun we went and picked up. It was like that too.
I got to looking at, like, I just searched earlier, like youth model turkey guns, and there's a ton. I mean, it's just as many
Yeah,
youth
it's
models
a lot.
out there as it is full on turkey guns. But some of the ones I seen was, think you had Michael one similar. You could swap the stocks out from like a youth model to full size, and had a little bit of growth room in there, I guess you'd say.
His isn't a shotgun. It was I did buy that youth. He did buy. I think it's a 20 gauge. It's another one of those Frenchies,
Yeah.
Affinity, but it's a youth model. And I don't know if you can swap a stock out for it. But I've seen them. I mean, a bunch of grown men are going to shooting 410s now for turkey because they've got those shells.
I just can't get on that bus.
Yeah.
I need some lead. Yeah. If 100 shot's good, 200's got to be better. You know.
I mean, they're selling. I guess the manufacturers of the bullets have done got them so advanced on the shells you can shoot at them now. There's all these different. I forget which particular one it is that makes it. I think it's a Federal bullet. So it's TSXs or something like that.
One of them's the Apex. I think's one company.
I'd have to look it up. I've never seen them, but I was talking to a guy about it, and he was like, "Yeah, that's what we're shooting 410s with those shells, and they're shooting 50 yards with a 410 shotgun."
I'll stick to my 12 gauge.
You got to be pretty good aim though.
Yeah, that's one thing is you don't want to get it to the point to where the room for error is steadily growing for that child. You know, you want as much cushion.
So when you shoot a turkey, how often or not is that turkey dead, or you got to go chase it down? Because I don't know. I've seen all kinds of videos where as soon as somebody shoots, they're up and running right after the bird.
You better.
Be flopping.
Yeah.
Better get on it.
I mean, I've seen plenty of times, not personally hunts I've been on, but you'll see them to where you'll shoot them and you think they're dead and they flop and all of a sudden they get up and they gone, you know?
Yeah, ever lost one like that?
I haven't.
No.
Fade has.
Yeah, Daddy has, I know.
He shot, well, we had 3. I was telling you about that the other day. It was, I'd called up 3 for him, and any other time we would have got up and ran it, but there was 3 long beards out there, and he shot and fired at one, and I was going to try to get a shot on another one. Well, his rolled down the hill. Well, we didn't get up and run to it right then. Well, I didn't get a shot at the other turkeys, but anyways, that bird rolled down the ridge. When we got up and we go to look for it, it wasn't there.
Yeah.
We blood trailed him for a little piece and found some feathers here and there. We never did find that turkey.
Don't just run down there, grab him by his spurs neither, because you will get cut open.
Where you gonna grab him? So if you run up on one you done shot,
you just about have to
stand on his head.
He's flopping. We gonna step on his head?
Stand on his head.
Just don't let him go nowhere. I say I learned something today. It's worth sitting here with y'all.
Do not grab the feet.
Don't
grab the feet. It's gonna be the maddest house cat you ever grabbed in your life because it's finna whoop you down.
You ever been kicked by one?
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah. You reach down and grab him feet, man. He's got spurs
His
now.
spurs are sharp.
He'll tear you up. Best thing to do, just step on that old head and just
let him kick all he wants.
Let him
kick
till he stops. Then you can pick him up. But they're super strong in the legs and stuff. So you reach and grab them. It's
Oh, I can imagine. I think a rooster can kick you with that big bird.
Oh, it's wings flapping and everything. They don't just they don't just keel over.
So have y'all ever used one of those mirror blinds or wherever or decoys where you can walk right up on one?
No, you ain't gonna do that around here. I don't think
that ain't no Mississippi turkeys.
I don't know. I rode
them out with Miriam's or Rios or something like that, huh?
I was driving out Saturday and we come out in the big plantation field and it was a drove of them right there. They didn't a bit more pay attention to me. I mean, they might have been 50 yards and.
They was out there.
Tomorrow morning they'll probably change. Watch, because you see something.
They got an alarm going off on their cell phone in a little while.
Calendar's gonna let them know.
They know. Oops, we got to go into that mode. Then the deer will be out there now.
That's right.
They won't run for nothing.
No.
It's always like it though. You sit in the woods. I've been in there turkey hunting. Deer just walk right by me. While you're sitting in the woods turkey hunting, and then same thing, vice versa during deer season.
Turkeys be right there.
Turkeys will be right there.
I was a kid. Me and Daddy was turkey hunting, and just so happened we didn't realize we was sitting right by a deer trail, and we had 3 deer come up, and I promise you, they were from here to this cup. I mean, they was 2 foot away from us, and just didn't pay attention.
Didn't phase you?
No.
I guess a complication we definitely need to mention, especially in Mississippi, chiggers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You get a kid ate it with chiggers, he ain't going back.
No.
Because I done been that kid before.
I mean, there's a lot of things to take consideration, and that will complicate your hunt with a kid. You need to, and that's one of the other things. What all do you take? What do you, some of the things you prep for when you take a kid is one of them's like Mark said,
chiggers, ticks,
chiggers.
Mosquitoes.
You got to spray them down. And make sure they're not allergic to anything you spray them down with, because that's a possibility.
I'm allergic.
I've been there before.
I cannot wear insect repellent. All of it breaks me out.
I can't either. I thought I was having a heart attack one time because of that stuff. It might have killed me.
Hey.
Yep.
How you keep the chiggers off of you then?
I just deal with it.
Deal with it.
They don't like me no more anyways.
I don't hardly get them on me at all.
I used to. I hadn't had them in a long time. Man, was I a kid though. If I went fishing, I was getting ate up with them.
Yeah.
You got chiggers in places I didn't think chiggers were supposed to be.
That's the places they like.
Man.
Yep.
They want that old underwear line and that sock line, places you don't want behind your knees.
Right. Toilet paper trail, they get there.
Any crevice they can get in. That's where chiggers go. And it ain't pleasant. All you can do is about to take a bleach bath or something, get rid of them.
Oh my gosh.
I ain't even.
Gasoline.
We ain't even gonna talk about where the worst place to get one is.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave that
That's a
alone.
whole new story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No.
yeah, I mean, when you take a kid hunting, though, the main thing is to make it fun for them. So, I mean, you, depending on the age range you got, what kid you're taking. If you're taking a really small kid, just make it fun.
Yeah, make it comfortable for them.
Make it comfortable for them. Take a little blanket with you or something because they're going to fall asleep. They're bored to death. They're probably going to pass out on you. So, but, bring them snacks and water and just, get up and move around a good bit. Use that as a scouting opportunity for you to go
that's what it
just kind of
is.
look. But, sit down and do some calling. Let them hear one if they, but if you're planning on that turkey getting up close to you with just say you take a 5 or 6 year old kid, you probably not going to kill that bird.
Put them in a blind.
Yeah.
That's what I was going
the
to suggest.
The blind
If
would
you
be
could
the
set
way
up
to
some
go.
blinds in different places and, just kind of move around. And
We need to
That'll
look
be
at one of
that.
them mirror blinds, the one that reflects on the ground,
yeah, I've
the
seen them.
invisible
Shadow
blind.
blinds or
Yeah.
whatever it's called, invisible blind. I've seen them advertised.
I mean, you take your fishing poles with you too. I mean, you take the kids
Yeah.
fishing while you're down there and, just go turkey hunting a little while. Don't run them to death,
Take some biscuits.
That's right. Make sure you get a pocket full of biscuits.
You know what's going to happen, though, is you're
Leave
going
the
to take
cell
them,
phones.
you're going to see the gobbler, and you're going to try to slip back in the next day by yourself and get it, and the kid's going to wake up, I'm going with you.
Yeah.
So
I'm
are you
hooked.
taking, you take kid hunting, are you taking a gun too?
Oh yeah,
Well,
turkey hunting. ain't
yeah.
down.
If it's not UCD, yes, because you never know. I mean, I've had grown men shoot the feet out from under a turkey.
You got that second shot on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's out there. It's fixing to fly off without it's dragging its feet. But I mean, I hate saying that. That's bad, but that stuff does happen.
So when you calling for somebody, are you lapped your gun too? I mean, it's sitting there ready to go
Mine's
as
not-
best you can.
Mine's not on my knee. It's usually I got my feet down. I may have one knee up when I'm calling for somebody, and I got my gun laying across me. It's ready to go. It's loaded and it's ready to go. But I usually have my call in my hand. Where I'm working that call between my knees or whatever. Where I kind of got the call hit, or if I got a mouth call in, whatever. But I'll have my hands on my gun if I got a mouth. Usually when a bird gets up close, I got a mouth call in. I done dropped the box call or slate call or whatever I had, and if I got him working in, I got a mouth call in, and I've got my hands on my gun ready to, follow up if that guy cripples
Needs
it up
to.
or whatever. But you got to be careful too with that. If both of you got a gun and he gets up and tears out running for the turkey, you got to make sure you know where
Safety
your
is
partner's at all
Yeah,
times.
that's one of the most important things anytime you're out in the woods, especially with firearm.
Well, that's two. If
You
you're
are-
hunting with the kid, the adult needs to be one to get up.
Yep,
Get
Yeah.
that kid, let the kid shoot, get the gun away from the child,
that's right.
and you go get the bird.
Yeah. Don't get caught up.
Yeah,
in
don't get
excitement.
caught up in
you don't want
excitement.
to run out there
Yeah.
and get shot in the ass when you're running across there with the kid
Yeah.
still got the gun. You
right.
definitely want to get up and make sure you get a hold of that gun and take it with you.
A lot of common sense there, but it's still you caught up in the moment. It's easy to get swallowed up in that moment too.
But with our weather changing back on us, since it's springtime here in Mississippi, you never know what it's going to be. What's the ideal weather for turkey hunting with y'all?
The main time I want to go turkey hunting is just like it was this past week. 70, 75 degrees, it's lows in maybe the 40s.
Cool in the morning,
Cool in the morning.
sunny in the afternoon.
Not much wind at all.
See what
That's the
Michael's
day
going to
I'm
run
there.
into this weekend is going to be cold
and
Saturday
cloudy.
morning. That's the hardest time for me when I was growing up. Is I hated it when it was that cold in the morning. Which, like Mikey said, most of the time it's going to get warm, and I'd rather it just stay cold because
Well, look-
you can dress for cold. You can't dress for cold and warm and not tote clothes around all day.
So are turkeys going to act different in the
Definitely.
weather too? Have you noticed that while you're hunting?
They're quiet when it's cold.
They're if it's an overcast, rainy day, something like that, most of the time, I mean, I've had trouble getting them to talk, or say anything. If you can't hear the bird, you can't hunt the bird. You can sit out on the edge of a field or something like that and call, but I want to go when I can hear the turkey. If I can't hear the turkey, I'm not interested. I'm leaving. I mean, that's just the way I do. I mean, it's not worth.
Well, you don't know that it's actually there.
Right. Now, I don't want to walk down through the woods, just be strolling down through there and blow him out or something like that, if he's been using the area, But if I did get caught in a situation where I was, a lot of people don't hunt close to the house, so they may go way off somewhere. So you go to your deer camp, it's 2 hours from the house, you're gonna stay and hunt.
Yeah,
you went down there to turkey hunt. So, if it's a bad day, if it's overcast, windy, you can't hear nothing, can't see nothing, fields, I mean, I sit on the edge of a field before I would anywhere. Wait
Just
on those
try to-
turkeys to come feed out there. At least I get to see something,
Yeah.
If they're not going to answer me, maybe I get a chance to call one to the field,
how long are you going to give them? So you go turkey hunting one morning. You know you're going to go. You want to go out there. You want to try to locate some. You hit your owl call, whatever you do. How long are you going? If you don't get nothing to answer, you going to immediately hit your next spot, or you going to sit around?
I am. I'm gonna keep walking till I hear one. If I don't hear one, and I don't, just like down there at the camp. If I walk that whole 140 something acres and I didn't hear a turkey, then yeah, I'm gonna probably find somewhere to go sit, in the woods or on the edge of the field, and I'll just sit up there for an hour or 2 hours, something like that. See what I see. Try to call something, because I have had, sit on the edge of a field, not heard nothing, and then an hour later, all of a sudden, one answers you just really faint, way off. They're moving around, so
Yeah, they're constantly on the move.
yeah. So they just may not be within hearing distance of you at that time. So I'm gonna give them a couple hours anyways before I just leave. But if it's a bad day, I'm not gonna give it much time. No, if it's raining or if it's a windy day, I ain't giving it much time. I'm getting up, going to the house.
So how you know it's heading your way? I'll tell you. I mean, I guess a few times I've been, which Mikey's probably been more than all of us combined here. I ain't gonna try to say I'm a pro, but every time I've been, I mean, it's kind of a dead giveaway. You wait to sound like it's closer, I mean,
yeah.
What was that?
You hear it coming, huh?
Yeah, you kind of hear it coming your way.
Yeah.
So if you're calling a bird and you got him answering, and you're gonna have situations where you got multiple birds answering you. We were talking about that the other day. How do you know which bird to go to, which one to get? We come up hunting government woods, so you
went to the closest one.
Yeah, a lot of times you went to the closest one just because you never know who else was going. Anyways,
yeah.
But once you get that, if you get that turkey to answer any call you're calling to him with, and he keeps answering,
he's closing distance on you too,
and you can tell he's closing distance. Like you can tell, by his volume. He's
locked in on you.
Yeah, he's locked in on you, and he's coming that way. So he's coming, and then when he stops calling and you've got him working in and you don't hear him saying nothing no more, you better get your shotgun up.
He's looking.
He's walking or running hard, coming to you.
So this happened several times with me and Daddy, but what do you do different when the hen gets there first? Because there's been plenty of times that you'll be sitting there calling, and the hen's going to come to you before the gobbler ever gets there. Do you change what you're doing?
I mean, I will if she comes right up in my lap. I ain't doing nothing.
Because they'll pinpoint you just like a gobbler.
Yeah,
they're coming right to you.
Yeah, if she runs up there and she starts calling or she starts doing something, I'm just gonna let her bring him in. I'm gonna sit right there and just let her. He was already with her, so
he's following
coming.
her wherever she's going. That's where he's going.
And I have called him.
How close have you had one walk to you?
What, a turkey?
A hen, yeah.
Where here to you?
Oh, I had a Jake, my shotgun was out there and he almost had to go under the barrel of the shotgun to go around it.
Yeah.
He was standing in front of me, clucking at me.
Never knew you were sitting there.
Mm-mm.
I was scared to blink, do anything. I had the same experience, and it was one of the things you cannot.
Was there a longbeard in with him?
We killed a longbeard that morning. Yeah, Daddy did. But that's one thing. Like I always got worried about when I would hunt with Daddy is that you'd be out there and you're calling for the gobbler, and then you got 10 hens out there in front of you. That's 20 freaking eyeballs on you.
That's right.
And I mean, they're looking hard, trying to figure out why is that tree making that noise.
Yeah. Well, so I guess that's my question. If you got a field full of hens out there, are you still trying to call after they've found your spot where you're at?
If they're not saying nothing, yeah, I would. At least I would get
noise.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how close they are to me. If they're working my way, I'm not gonna say nothing else.
Yeah, you're just gonna let them come, right?
Yeah, I mean, you let them know where you're at. They know where you're at.
Yeah,
they know you're
at
over
that point. They're looking for you.
Yep.
There's no use in making any more noise.
That's the amazing thing about turkeys is when you're calling, they know almost within 10 feet of where you're at. They will run. They can be 100 yards from you, and it'll run right on top of you, and you ain't said nothing else.
They're pinpointing that noise.
They have pinpointed where you're at.
Yeah.
Like when me and Daddy would go together, I'm not a turkey caller by no means, but we never sit like close as me and you are now. That way, if he does pinpoint, he's not looking at the guy with the gun. He's looking for the guy with the call.
Yeah, so you're in between them a lot of times if you know which way they're coming from.
Yeah, if you got that scenario, you back up. Yeah, if you're calling, I like to back up behind whoever shooting, put them out front.
Yeah.
That way they're 10 yards closer.
Gives them a little bit better range.
I mean, that's like this weekend. You and Michael sit together, and if Mikey's able to go or me, whoever's calling, be back behind you or whatever.
Yeah.
I still want to be able to see you, to see what's going on. That because you don't want to
call at the wrong time.
Right?
Yeah.
I may be, yonking at them hard, and I don't need to be doing that no more. And they're already there.
And I think too, one of the biggest mistakes people make is they don't realize how quick a turkey can cover ground.
Fast.
I mean, he can cover way quicker than you can.
Oh yeah.
And like you say, when he ain't saying nothing, he's usually in a pretty good jog. He's coming, coming or going.
I've seen them jokers cover, a couple 100 yards in a matter of seconds.
On a beeline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Running like the road
running
runner.
hard.
It's like the road runner going across.
And that's the funniest thing is a turkey running.
I've seen them, single file. They'll get single file for some reason. I don't know why they don't spread out. Them jokers will get right behind each other going.
I try not to laugh. When they're coming, it gets me so tickled just seeing things running like that.
They stop and blow up.
Yeah. And then, when you see a gobbler, he runs up there and he stops and goes, boom.
When you hear him drum, if you can hear him do that, you better shoot. You better be on him.
And that's one of the other questions we had. How do you know when he's close? You know, just say you don't see him. And you're sitting there, you know he's coming and you don't see him because they don't always come on like on a string straight in front of you. He may go around something and come out on your right or your left. Or, heck, I've had him come in from behind me. I don't know how he got around behind me. But
he's looking.
Yeah, he's looking for you. So the only way, you got to be aware of those other noises that you're going to hear besides just that gobble. You hear them, boop. You hear them, they'll make different noises as they come up. And one of the main ones is like when he's drumming. If you hear him go boom, and you hear that noise, and them, if you can hear them feathers ruffling in the leaves,
he's on you.
That joker is close. And if you don't see him, you better not move. Don't even try to turn your head.
Yeah.
He's there. I mean, he's within 20, 30 yards of you, easy.
Yeah.
Very easy. But that's pretty funny,
That'll make your hair stand up.
Oh, yeah. Now you can't see him, and he's there, and you can't shoot him. Now what? You don't know if he's going to walk up on you and brush you or what. He might be right behind the tree you're sitting on.
So that was the last topic I had on here too. Was after you shoot one, what is involved in processing or dressing that turkey? We done talked about you guys run out there. We done talked about go out there and stand on his head until he quits flopping.
So you done fired the shot. So you come up off the ground, you run out there, you get your bird. Don't worry about what else is other than unless you got somebody with you. Making sure they're not going to fire another shot or anything like that. But get out there, get on top of your bird, step on the head, try not to grab it by the feet because it's still kicking. And then when you get it back to the truck, it depends on the day. If it's cold, you could probably wrap that turkey up in your turkey vest, and take it onto the house and clean it when you get home. But if it's one of those 70, 80 degree days or something like that, you do not want it in the sun. You might want to go ahead and get the guts out of it. So just like you clean doves or ducks or whatever, right up under that breast is where their, kind of their gut area is. You just open that up and reach up in there and
pull everything out.
Yep. Reach up in there and pull everything out, get it out. And then,
you don't want to smell like that deep freeze this morning.
Yeah, you need to make sure you're around water when you do that, or wear a pair of gloves because it's gonna be it's gonna be funky. Bird.
So are you dressing the whole bird out like a whole Thanksgiving turkey, or are you breasting it out, or what's
if I had a cooler with me? If I had a cooler with me, but most people are gonna want to take a picture with it, so they gotta get to somebody. If your buddy's with you, or somebody's with you, you can take a picture. You can go ahead and dress it out right there. If you've got a cooler where you just put it in Ziploc, the breast.
Yeah.
We usually just keep the breast. We don't keep nothing else. I know that sounds bad, but you about can't eat none of the rest of it. But you take that breast out, just breast it out like you do ducks, same way. Put it in a Ziploc bag, drop it in the cooler.
How are we preserving the fan and the spurs and the trophy element of it, the beard and all that?
Most of the time you're going right below where the tail meets the body at. It's a kind of like a chunk of meat or whatever.
It's old turkey butt, just like you see on Thanksgiving turkey.
That's right. That little butt, flat that's on the back of your turkey, it's the same thing. That's where his tail attaches to, or his fan. So you're just going to cut through that, and then once you get home with that, I usually salt them.
Salt and borax.
Yeah.
Just that meat.
Just
meat
that
part
meat
of
part.
it?
Yeah. Just
You
put
know,
it on that
fan
meat
it
ball.
out so when
Yeah.
it dries, it dries.
Put it on
down.
cardboard or a board and kind of pin it,
Pin it.
Yeah, you want,
thumbtack or something.
yeah, because however you leave it when it dries, that's the way it's gonna be. So if it's closed, this gonna
You
be,
got a closed fan.
Yeah,
you
it
got
ain't gonna. So,
closed
so it's
fan.
best to spread it out and pin it,
Yeah.
and then salt or borax or put that mixture on it and let
Mhm.
it dry.
The salt to work. The only thing the borax is going to do is pull the oil out, and help it dry a little quicker.
Well, so what do you do for the beard?
just cut it
off.
Same thing.
Just cut it.
dip
You got to
in
worry
that-
about it unraveling or.
No,
Yeah.
As long as you cut it with meat on it.
Yeah, you need to
Keep-
take
leave a
it
little
back up
meat.
in there and cut. Pull it out when it's loosely attached to the front of the turkey. So when you pull on it, it's gonna pull out a little bit, and
Get you some skin.
you just get you an inch or two of skin back there. And
Now, if you do screw up and do cut it too short and some of your beard extra comes out, take you a hot glue gun and just make you a little puddle and stick it all right back in there and hold it.
Now, what about spurs? What are we doing to the legs?
That's my
You
favorite
keep
part.
you keep those?
Some people
You
do the
can,
whole
yeah.
leg
Yeah.
versus
Yeah.
some people just
Yeah.
do the spur.
Every time I've seen it done, it's been cut off
The knee?
I'd have Saul do that. You really ain't gonna cut that with no pocket knife.
right below the knee. And then you can take the little tendon and go whoop, and it'll flip you off.
Yeah.
You can make his toes move.
But yeah,
How do you preserve those? Just let them dry.
Yeah, let them
Yeah.
dry. You can soft the meat that's exposed, but really you're not going to, it's
Just
nothing else
do
to
what
do
you're
it.
doing.
yeah, don't put it in the house like right after you kill it. It's gonna get rank. Your wife ain't gonna let you bring.
How
some
long does it
turkey
take
in
a tail fan to dry out? Or
Couple of
God,
weeks. Usually ain't too long. The feet, I know, don't take long.
there. No, I usually leave them out there at least 2 months, 8 weeks, something like that. I'd leave them out there that long.
now, I guess you could take it to a taxidermist if you wanted to.
Yeah.
If you wanted to have something done
That's a
with it.
pretty mount. Darren's got
Yeah.
a whole turkey mounted as
I don't know.
Pretty.
I wouldn't touch it if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, if you're gonna mount a turkey like you gonna do a full mount, you need
Get your
need to con-
pictures, go to the taxidermist.
Yeah, call your taxidermist if you got him on, if you
Yeah.
got his phone number, and see how he wants you to do it. Because when you take a full mount to him, you're not gonna get the meat off of it. He's
Yeah.
probably gonna get it.
I don't know.
Do you throw them on ice? You throw the whole turkey on ice in a cooler?
Don't get him wet.
No, don't
Yeah.
get wet.
You put it in a bag and then put it on ice if you wanted to.
Yeah, so if you're going off somewhere and you think you're gonna kill a turkey like that, I'd be good to take you a big trash bag.
Talk to your taxidermist
big
beforehand.
cooler,
You
yeah.
know,
Know what you're going to do?
yeah,
with
get
it?
a heads up on it. That way you're not rushing.
See, this is all stuff I don't know. I never thought about it. So
We're gonna have us a mounted turkey this year at the hunt camp. Don't worry.
They do look good.
well, since we are going back to camp this weekend for the youth weekend in Turkey, what are we cooking, Mark? I wanted to talk about crawfish.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's cold. I'm still gonna try to persuade you into it. We may do some crawfish Saturday. If not, we talked about jambalaya, and then I got two deer hearts in the freezer, and we could do some dirty rice with them.
Yeah, that would be good there.
Or we could just. I mean, I got some stewed meat. We probably need to use. You could use it. Just brown it down, get it good and tender, then do your dirty rice that way.
That'd be good.
We got some options.
Yeah, I'm down for a crawfish boil.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
so
kind of what I'm like.
have you worked on a citrus crawfish boil? Walk us through your version of
All right,
what you're
so-
thinking on citrus boil.
We've talked about it before. I've been wanting to try to do a citrus boil. And the first one we cooked this year, which has been a couple weeks ago, season was still early. Crawfish were teeny tiny and
Puny,
soft.
yeah.
Yeah. They wasn't ones you wanted to be proud of. I guess that'd been 15 pounds of lemons in the water.
Wow,
And it's still, I
you
mean,
didn't get the.
yeah, it wasn't citrusy. So,
So what are you thinking?
man, them Cajuns will get mad, but I'm probably going to put some Simply Lemonade in it. I mean, or something that's like a little.
Well, so I've been seeing them dump orange juice, grapefruit. I mean,
I
they're
want the
putting-
citrus without being sweet.
Yeah, you don't want the sugar. It's not the sugar. It's that citrus flavor.
Yeah. So I mean, we probably could do some grapefruit, lemons, limes.
Would
We
you
done
add orange juice to it?
we done the oranges at one time, and to me, it was too
Too
sweet. Yeah.
So what's the point behind the citrus?
It's just different flavor.
Yeah, just freshness.
I mean, we got those standard crawfish down. We're trying to play with some different flavors.
I
I'm
mean, the
going
last
down.
ones that Mark cooked, the pan he brought me to the house, it had a bunch of lemons in it, and you could
Yeah.
actually the crawfish that was next to the lemons.
And see, I'm thinking about
yeah.
that too. Is when we dump them in the cooler to squeeze lemons over them in the cooler.
It had a good taste.
Go ahead and get some more juice on them. Then I've seen them pour that lemon juice concentrate in those pots too.
That gets bitter though.
But I see.
I don't
I've
like
never done it.
concentrate.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's to me, it don't taste like a lemon. It don't have that citrus
So
flavor.
you want to
Acidic.
juice everything?
I
Add
won't like.
juice?
We got that big juicer back there,
We got one ready to go to work.
but
That's all
no,
we'd have to do.
definitely do that. Of course,
So you gonna put everything else in there? The corn, taters,
Yeah.
sausage.
we're gonna do the pickled
Champignons.
quail eggs in the jar.
Champignons.
The what?
Quickle. I like the pickled okra.
Quickle pale egg.
And
Quickle
pale
pale eggs?
Quickle- Is that what I said? Quickle pale eggs.
Yeah, I don't know about them.
They are kind of pale looking.
No, Jamie got us turned on to doing the corn in the can last year.
I like. The
And,
corn
man,
in
it
the
was-
can.
it was delicious.
Yeah.
So
peel the label off your can, poke a bunch of holes in it, drain the corn juice out, and then throw the whole
I've
can
done
in the
green
bowl.
beans like that.
So me and Mikey,
These
we're
are
gonna
good.
do quail eggs out of the jar. Poke holes in the lid,
To drop the whole jar
drop
in
the whole
there.
jar. That way they don't bust. They don't get on everything.
Yeah. As long as you could get the liquid in there good. But it would.
It would.
Put
It
holes
would
in it.
soak, yeah. I've done the pineapples in a can the same way.
Yeah,
They do. How they do.
It's great.
I do like the pineapples. In it,
yeah. The pineapples are good in there.
but that's kind of a dessert. It's for the.
Well, that's what I say. When you do it in a can, you set the whole slices. They're to
Yeah.
the side. They're their own separate item. You know.
That's right. That's right. That's a good idea. I never thought about that.
I think too. You know,
Chunks or rings.
I done rings and then actually sliced the rings up. Like I said, they had the red seasoning in it. It was good.
What sausage y'all?
Redskin.
Redskin.
You don't ruin it with none of that other stuff.
That's what I say too.
Circle B is the choice for me.
Circle B is a choice for me. I like it. That's the best crawfish sausage there is.
Oh.
You can put
We've
fancy
tried-
smoked
we've-
sausage and all that stuff in it. It just doesn't do.
Me and Jamie and Mikey cooked a bunch of crawfish for a group of folks a while back, and one of the guys persisted that we use sausage he brought. I said, okay. He brought Kaneka, and it was
which is good sausage.
It's really good.
Extra smoky.
This was, I want to say, because I seen the other day at Kroger, it was a double smoked, I bet, because Kroger has a hickory smoke. It's in a brown package with like a burgundy color label.
Yeah.
It's a different package than any other Kaneka, and it is smoky. And we
It
did,
made
we
the
didn't
water
put,
smoky. I mean,
we put like
yeah.
2 or 3 links is all we put in it, and it ruined it. I mean, the crawfish were smoky.
It was
Yeah, I
definitely-
can't do that.
Yeah, it wasn't what you wanted for sure.
I've tried all different kinds too, and the red skin. I call it red skin sausage. It's Circle B smoked sausage and the red brine. And you don't peel it or nothing. You just cut it and put it off in there, and it makes
I mean,
the best.
That's the cheapest way to go too. I mean,
Yeah, it really is.
but it's
cheap
also
sausage.
good. I mean, they hold a lot of the
Flavor.
seasoning. And
It ain't
flavor.
some of those
Swallow.
sausages you got to watch. They're so greasy. That red skin ain't.
Yeah, no,
And you don't want no fat floating in your water. You know,
that's right. You want the nitrates and the salt and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
get you red in the face, sweat.
That's what you want. Well, hey, it's close enough to lunchtime. Y'all ain't got to be
Yep.
hungry. so
Hey, we got
about
2
to get
pork
this
butts back there now, coming off.
on the pit. That's right. Y'all got anything else that we need to talk about today before we get out of here, fellas?
No, I'm looking for Saturday.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate y'all hanging out with us here on Buck Junkies, and y'all get out, take a kid turkey hunting this weekend. It's a good time to get out and enjoy the outdoors, and we'll see y'all next week.